Under the papacy of Pope Leo XIV, the Vatican has entered a new era of reform, dialogue, and global engagement. A pontiff of both tradition and innovation, Leo XIV has surrounded himself with a formidable team of church leaders, scholars, and administrators who are helping him guide the Catholic Church through a time of profound global transformation. From curial officials to diplomatic strategists, from theologians to social advocates, these are the 10 most influential figures shaping the direction and legacy of Pope Leo XIV's pontificate. Please, like, comment, subscribe and share. 1. Cardinal Lorenzo Salvi, Secretary of State, the Pope's right hand. Cardinal Lorenzo Salvi, a seasoned diplomat and respected theologian, serves as the Vatican's Secretary of State, the highest-ranking official in the Roman Curia after the Pope himself. Often described as the architect of Leo XIV's global strategy, Cardinal Salvi has been instrumental in repositioning the Holy See on the international stage. Fluent in 6 languages and known for his diplomatic finesse, Salvi has cultivated new alliances with the African Union, Southeast Asian countries, and Orthodox Christian leaders. His influence reaches across borders, addressing critical issues such as peace-building, religious freedom, and interfaith cooperation. Salvi's tenure has seen the reformation of the Vatican's diplomatic corps, a restructuring of the Secretariat of State's internal mechanisms, and the reinforcement of canonical principles within foreign policy. His behind-the-scenes coordination during recent synods and papal trips has solidified his status as a key power broker within the Holy See. 2. Cardinal Maria González de la Torre, Prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith. Cardinal Maria González de la Torre is a towering intellectual presence in Leo XIV's administration. As the Prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, DDF, she oversees the safeguarding and interpretation of Catholic doctrine. With her background in systematic theology and moral philosophy, Cardinal González has played a leading role in addressing ethical questions posed by artificial intelligence, human sexuality, and the ecological crisis. Her bold initiatives include launching a global consultation on gender theory within the framework of Catholic anthropology, and establishing a theological commission on the spiritual implications of machine consciousness. In a historic move, she also initiated revisions to pastoral documents concerning divorced and remarried Catholics, marking a delicate but significant shift toward pastoral inclusiveness. 3. Archbishop Jean-Baptiste Okoro, President of the Pontifical Council for Evangelization and African Affairs. Archbishop Jean-Baptiste Okoro, originally from Nigeria, has emerged as one of the most compelling voices for Catholicism's growing presence in the Global South. As president of the newly formed Pontifical Council for Evangelization and African Affairs, Okoro is leading efforts to contextualize the gospel within African cultural frameworks while promoting social justice, economic empowerment, and peace-building. Known for his charismatic preaching and deep theological insight, Archbishop Okoro has organized Vatican-sponsored conferences on African theology, liberation ethics, and post-colonial ecclesiology. His influence has also reached into papal encyclicals, especially those touching on land use, indigenous rights, and resource exploitation in sub-Saharan Africa. Under Pope Leo XIV, he is a symbol of a more global and decentralized church. 4. Sister Angela Marie de Luca, Papal Advisor for Women and Family Affairs. Breaking new ground in the Vatican's male-dominated leadership structure, Sister Angela Marie de Luca serves as Papal Advisor for Women and Family Affairs. A religious sister from Italy with a Ph.D. in moral theology and decades of pastoral experience, she brings a strong female voice to Vatican decision-making. Sister Angela has championed women's contributions to theology, advocated for greater female leadership in church governance, and pushed for pastoral reform in the area of family life. Her leadership was pivotal in crafting Pope Leo XIV's apostolic exhortation Familia et Amoris, which introduced more inclusive language around single parenthood, domestic violence, and gender-based exclusion. As a frequent speaker at synodal assemblies and Vatican press conferences, Sister Angela has become a face of modern Catholic womanhood, devoted to tradition, yet unafraid to question its boundaries. 5. Cardinal Silvano Riotti, Prefect of the Dicastery for Integral Human Development. Cardinal Silvano Riotti heads the Dicastery for Promoting Integral Human Development and has become the papacy's leading voice on economic justice, climate change, and migration. A former economist and longtime advocate of Laudato Si's environmental vision, Riotti represents the Church's commitment to sustainability and social equity. Under his guidance, the Vatican has launched a global Green Parishes initiative, encouraged sustainable farming cooperatives in Latin America, and partnered with international NGOs to combat human trafficking. He has also played a pivotal role in the Laudate Deum Action Plan of Pope Leo XIV, which operationalizes Catholic ecological teachings in practical, measurable ways. 6. Monsignor Tomasz Zurek, Secretary of the Synod of Bishops. Monsignor Tomasz Zurek is the intellectual engine behind Pope Leo XIV's ambitious synodal reform project. As Secretary of the Synod of Bishops, he is responsible for implementing the Pope's vision of a listening church, one that values dialogue, inclusion, and spiritual discernment. Zurek has overseen the decentralization of synodal processes, enabling local churches to have greater input in universal decision-making. His work helped facilitate the multi-year synod on youth, family, and the church in the digital age. He is currently spearheading the Jubilee Synod 2025, a historic gathering focused on renewal, reconciliation, and reform. 7. Cardinal Raffaella Obesai, Prefect of the Dicastery for Divine Worship and the Discipline of the Sacraments. Cardinal Raffaella Obesai, hailing from Kenya, is the first African woman to head the Dicastery for Divine Worship. With her deep love for liturgical tradition and her openness to cultural diversity, she is leading efforts to enculturate the liturgy across different continents without compromising theological integrity. She has encouraged the translation of the Mass into dozens of African and Asian languages, approved experimental liturgical rites reflecting indigenous symbols, and supported the revival of Gregorian chant among youth movements. Her dynamic leadership reflects Pope Leo XIV's desire for a worshipping church that is at once ancient and modern, universal and local. 8. Archbishop Matthias Gruber, Prefect of the Apostolic Signatura. As Prefect of the Apostolic Signatura, the Church's highest judicial authority, Archbishop Matthias Gruber brings legal expertise and a deep sense of justice to the Vatican's internal governance. A canon lawyer by training, Gruber has modernized ecclesiastical court procedures, improved transparency in handling abuse cases, and championed the rights of the laity in church tribunals. Gruber's reforms include the introduction of digital case management systems, a global review board for judicial ethics, and educational programs for diocesan judges worldwide. His voice is one of caution, precision, and deep respect for the canonical tradition. 9. Bishop Pablo Muñoz, Secretary for Digital Evangelization and Artificial Intelligence Ethics. A new office under Pope Leo XIV, the Secretariat for Digital Evangelization and AI Ethics is headed by Bishop Pablo Muñoz, a tech-savvy prelate from Argentina. His mandate is twofold: to spread the gospel in the digital world and to guide the Church's ethical response to rapid technological innovation. Bishop Muñoz has launched virtual catechism platforms, Vatican-endorsed podcasts, and multilingual YouTube channels focused on Catholic education. He also chairs the Vatican Commission on AI and Moral Responsibility, which has issued guidelines on everything from algorithmic bias to the role of AI in pastoral care. 10. Father Joseph Tanaka, S.J., Chief Papal Theologian and Interfaith Advisor. A Jesuit priest and renowned scholar of world religions, Father Joseph Tanaka serves as Leo XIV's chief theological advisor and primary liaison to non-Christian faiths. Based in Rome but constantly traveling, he has played a vital role in interreligious dialogue with Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and indigenous communities. His influence is felt in documents like Veritas in Harmonia, which explores the presence of divine truth in other religions, and in joint declarations on peace and religious freedom with global faith leaders. Father Tanaka reflects Pope Leo XIV's desire for a church that is missionary in spirit and bridge-building in action. Finally, a papacy of bold collaboration. Under Pope Leo XIV, the Vatican is not merely led by one man but powered by a diverse, dynamic team of leaders who reflect the global face of Catholicism. These 10 individuals are more than functionaries, they are visionaries. They represent different continents, theological perspectives, and ecclesial backgrounds, but they share one thing in common: an unwavering commitment to the mission of the Church in the 21st century. Together, they are shaping what may become one of the most transformative pontificates in modern Church history. Pope Leo XIV may be the shepherd, but these leaders are the hands, heart, and voice helping him guide the flock through a world in need of truth, love, and light.